Hello, thank you very much for joining us. I'm Philip Duncan. Well, this weekend we've got windier weather coming back. Friday's not so bad, but Saturday and Sunday, those winds surge back up again. They fade on Monday, and next week, an enormous area of high pressure is moving in, but again, it's a little bit complicated. So let's take a look and see what's happening at the moment on the wind map. And there's no shortage of windy weather around, but most of it's out at sea now. You can just see it hugging the eastern coastline, and then coming in from the Tasman, it's still pretty much out at sea. So we've got a little bit of a breather in the winds for a short time, but it does go downhill this weekend with more windy west to southwest winds coming through. Before all that happens, we've got a little bit more rain coming back in. Most of it is down on the west coast. In fact, the further south you go around Western New Zealand, the higher the rainfall totals. So if you start in the north up here, where it is very dry now in the far north, 1 millimetre, in fact 0.1 to 1 millimetre of rain, so that is pretty much nothing. Down the western side, the green you see that goes right through into Waikato, 2 to 5 millimetres. So you're just talking showers coming through, the odd shower here and there. Even if they're a little bit heavy, they're not going to last very long because the winds are going to pick up this weekend. That means those showers move fast and they don't drop much rain. But you go further down towards Taranaki, you're getting up sort of around that 10-15 millimetre mark, and then the west coast of the South Island, 30 to about 50 millimetres coming for you. So it's not huge totals, but it does show you that the further south you are, the more rain there is, and obviously eastern areas, you're pretty much dry. Now there's a little bit of snow in there as well with the colder southerlies coming through. That rain does turn to snow. Again, it's not massively heavy. We're only talking about a few centimetres, maybe sort of in this area here, 5 to 10 for a large portion of this. But some of these areas you see in the pink shading, that's getting up into the 20-25 centimetre mark. But to be honest with you, we're talking about Mount Cook, places like that, not anywhere near the main centres. So this is Saturday, and you can see those windy conditions coming back, and you can kind of clearly see why Fiordland and the west coast has more rain than the North Island. So that rain or frequent showers lines up for you. Elsewhere, it's just showery weather. The isobars aren't too squashed together on Saturday, but they will get more and more squashed together, which means the winds pick up. They might be a bit more westerly for some areas, southwest for others, and we've got more patchy rain and showers coming in for Southland. On Sunday, this is the colder day and the windier one. So that blue line you see there, that is a sign that very cold air is moving in. Single digit highs for a number of places around Southland and Otago. If you make the double digits, it'll only just be getting into the 10s and 11s. And more showers, frequent for the north here, and the winds are stronger as well. So around Auckland, it'll be a bit windy, but the pale blue indicates that the rainfall totals are not much, and these eastern areas, you've got a mostly dry weekend on the way. So next week, before we get to next week, the swells on Sunday, yes, they'll be pretty big. Dangerous conditions, marine conditions all around the South Island. Really, the only exception's the very north, and even then, you're still talking about 3.5 metre swells coming in potentially through Cook Strait, but the reds that you see down to the south there, you're talking sort of 6, 7, 8 metre waves. So this is big stuff, dangerous kind of stuff. The calmest weather for marine conditions, that is, will be in the north. But remember, just because the swells are flat, we'll have gale force winds on Sunday in a number of marine areas. So Sunday's not really a good day to be out on the sea. Now let's go to next week, and Monday. This is this enormous high I was talking about. So on Monday, it starts to move in. We've still got the colder, windier, southerly or southwesterly blowing, but it does fade away on Monday, which means a cold night coming Monday night and cold for Tuesday morning. This high is enormous. Australia is 4,000 kilometres across. This high is looking at this stage like it might be stretching and connecting with other ones and could be covering a 9,000 kilometre area. That's from west to east, not from north to south, which means the westerly winds are going to continue next week with showers, even though we've got this really big high coming in across the country. And our final map for Wednesday, this is the high that stretches twice as wide as Australia, about 9,000 kilometres across. It's only doing that for around Tuesday and Wednesday. This part will break off, this will consolidate, and then that main centre is likely to come in across the country next weekend with warmer winds coming behind it. So that's an extra long range forecast for you. Have a great weekend. We'll see you again on Monday.